That is one big pile of shit.
UFC Fight Night Moreno versus Kavanagh is happening this weekend. This is my picks and predictions 100% right edition. We're getting every single pick right on this stink-ass piece of shit card. Because this card is dookie. I'm not going to lie to you. Every once in a while, we get one of these cards. You thought the Bautista versus Oliveira card was bad? No, this is bad. There's nothing really redeemable about this shit. The co-main event, in my opinion, is more exciting than the main event. But we got to go through the entire thing. You can skip to the end of the video if you want to see my picks. We start at the very top with the main event, as we always do. Brandon Moreno versus Loner Kavanagh. It was supposed to be Asu Almabayev. He pulls out. Kavanagh steps in after being brutally knocked out by Charles Long Dong Johnson because he keeps his chin out in the air. Long Dong Johnson is very long. He's a lanky striker build. Moreno's more shorter. I don't think Moreno's going to catch Kavanagh. I do think he's going to take him down and submit him in the first round, though. We're going first round submission. Brandon Moreno is a champion. Former champion, at least. Fought Figgy 4 times. Liver kicked Kai Kara France and destroyed him. Loner Kavanagh only has 10 professional fights, very young, inexperienced compared to the veteran that is Moreno. The only attribute that you give Loner Kavanagh is his youth in the flyweight division, which matters a lot. But that's it. It's not like Moreno's an old man. He's only 32. There's no way you pick Loner Kavanagh for this. And 14% of people are. I have gotten every single main event pick right in 2026 so far. I am on a good, hot win streak right now. I got Gaethje, Volkanovski, Bautista, and Sean Strickland. I'm not going to lose my streak because I pick Loner Kavanagh. I'm going with Brandon Moreno. Most people are going with Brandon Moreno. And this entire card, it's basically you pick one, like one guy is like minus 500, the other guy's like plus 400. You know, a lot of my prediction videos are usually 40 minutes long. I don't want this one to be that long because this is a disgraceful matchup that should have never been made. They could have easily found someone else at flyweight to do this fight. They could have done fucking Bruno Silva. You know, it's happening in Mexico. So if the slight chance, and this is for all the Mexican fighters on this card, the slight chance that it goes to decision for these guys, the judges are going to give it to them. The judges are going to give the Mexican fighters the decision if the fight is anywhere close to being competitive. But Moreno, he's going to get this done. I will extend my main event winning streak until next week with Oliveira and Holloway. That's going to be tough to pick. I have not picked somebody yet, but I've been thinking about that card. But we move on to the co-main event. I'm more excited for the co-main event than I am for the main event. Marlon Chito Vera versus David Martinez. You got to go with David Martinez. Chito Vera doesn't fight. He doesn't throw shit. It's like he throws shit in like the last 2 minutes of the 3rd round or 5th round. He wastes so much time downloading data. And he's Ecuadorian, so I have a little bias. In case you don't know, you know, I'm part of that country, or I have some ancestry from that country, and so I want to pick my guy from Chone, Ecuador, Manabi. Tu sabe, pues. Martinez, Mexican. Isn't he a doctor? Yeah, he's a doctor. I saw that new video from the UFC. I'm going to go by decision. Chito Vera has a chin. I don't think he's ever been finished or knocked out. Maybe he's been submitted before, but I don't think he's been knocked out. He's got a great chin. I don't think Martinez is going to knock him out, but, you know, we could be surprised. He's got the youth at bantamweight, which matters. I want to pick Vera, but I just can't. His last win was washed up little Pedro Munoz 2.5 years ago. Since then, the last 5 fights, 4 losses. Remember the Corey Sandhagen fight? He threw nothing. He threw nothing up against a guy that is notorious for throwing nothing. Corey Sandhagen is similar to Vera in which they don't throw punches. They don't like to fight. They're very cautious. The Sean O'Malley one, he's a punching bag for 5 rounds. Eats that flying knee. He had like a great body shot in like the last 10 seconds of the fight, but it's too late. Loses to Figgy. Okay, Figgy's a champ, but he's moving up to flyweight. And loses to Ayman Zahabi because he doesn't throw shit. And I picked Vera to beat Zahabi and Figgy, and he couldn't even do that. I have learned my lesson. I can't pick Vera anymore. I'm done with Cheeto. I'm fucking done. I'm moving on. I'm picking David Martinez. This fight, Daniel Zellhuber versus Bobby Green. I picked Daniel Zellhuber to beat Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, similar to Bobby Green, they are old men. But Michael Johnson actually has power. Bobby Green, he's a flurry puncher. His power comes from breaking you down, from hitting you in the face a lot, from hitting you with the body shots. I don't think he's going to do a lot of damage to Daniel Zellhuber. I'm going with Zellhuber by knockout. In the second round. Zellhuber was on a good come-up. He was on a decent win streak. He beat Francisco Prado, who got robbed against Nikolai Veretennikov, right? Is that the same guy? I think it is. I think these Argentinians are good. Then he loses to another Argentinian, Esteban Ribovic. One of the best fights. That was in the Sphere. I still remember it. It was a great fight. It was a close fight, split decision. And then Michael Johnson. He was probably overlooking Michael Johnson with the unk power. Gets dropped badly. Again, like I said, I don't think Bobby Green has that power in his hands to do that to Daniel. So, and also he's, training at Extreme Couture now. He's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got all the advantages in this. I think there's going to be an easy win for him, either by knockout or maybe by decision. Remember, Green beats this Canadian bum that comes out of nowhere. I don't even think he was on the Contender Series or anything. Roofy, Paddy Pimblett, Turner. We all remember the Jalen Turner one. You got to go with Zellhuber. We move on to the next fight. These are going into the shitter fights. These are the fights which only the hardcore fans know who these guys are. I'm going with Edgar Chairez to beat Felipe Bunes. Chairez, how do I say it? Chairez. Lost to Joshua Van, lost to Tatsuro Taira. These are good. They're both fighting. Van and Taira are fighting at UFC 327. They are both championship level fighters. So when you lose to those guys at flyweight, it's not the end of the world. So I don't want to hyper analyze this. We're going to go by submission just because his last 2 wins, or the last time he's won, he's got submission. So we're just going to move on. There's a lot of these types of shitter fights. Imanol Rodriguez versus Kevin Boras. This guy was in the Contender Series, right? Yeah. So, new guy coming in. He's fighting Kevin Boras. Mexico versus Peru. If you have been watching my channel, you know what I think about Peruvian fighters. They absolutely stink. I think Rodriguez, you can see he's got some of that, what are they called? Caudillos. He's got some of that Caudillo ancestry. Versus the Incan 5'5" man. Okay, well, this guy's 5'4", so maybe that's not that good. What is this, flyweight? Yeah, we're just gonna go with this guy. Has this guy been knocked out before? He has. Knockout in round 3. I think, because this guy's new. He's only had 6 fights. It'll probably take him a while to download the data and find the weaknesses for El Gallo Negro, Kevin Borjas. No mames, güey. Soy de Lima, Peru, puta de tu madre. We move on. Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. This guy fought in the Contender Series. He loses, and then he gets signed anyways. How does that make sense? And then he loses his UFC debut. We're going with Santiago Luna, 7-0. This guy wasn't in the Contender Series, but knocks out Kwang Lei. Who the fuck does that to Kwang Lei? We're going by knockout in round 1. Tijuana, bantamweight fight. Very young guy. He's got the height, got the reach. Pacheco, fighting out of the U.S. Minnesota, I don't care. This one. Please do not rewatch my picks and predictions video for Diego Lopez versus Gene Silva, because on that card, Jose Medina fought Dusko Todorovic. Now, I am a smart guy. I would never pick Jose Medina to beat Dusko Todorovic. Never. I would never do such a stupid, retarded move. So, hear me when I say this. Ryan Gandra, another Indian variant Brazilian, like Kevin Christian, like Brenson Ribeiro, like Rafael Cerqueira, has now come in. What do all these guys have in common? They suck. But those guys, they win their Contender Series fights, as Ryan Gandra did 5 months ago. He was on the Contender Series. Beats pretty boy Trent Miller. And they beat the bottom of the barrel guys in their division. Like Ribeiro, I can't remember who it was, but he beat some guy. And Cerqueira, he also beat his guy in his UFC debut. I think Gandra's going to do the same thing. I think Gandra's going to beat Jose Medina, and then he's probably going to lose every single fight after that. It's going to be one of those guys, another Indian variant at middleweight. We're going to go by knockout in round 1. Bolivian UFC fighters. We don't see this flag that often. He is the only Bolivian fighter in the whole UFC, I believe. Plus 400 underdog. If you want to make some money, put it on Ryan Gandra. Even that name, dude, he looks like he's from the subcontinent. He looks like Anshul Jubilee's big brother. Don't tell me that he doesn't. I can't pick Jose Medina. And yes, I did pick Jose Medina to beat Dusko Todorovic because I am a fucking retard. But I'm changing my ways. That was early on in my channel's history. I've gotten better with my picks. Macy Chiasson versus Eileen Perez. Eileen Perez is the reason why paper bags were invented. You put a paper bag over Eileen Perez. She's got some other assets that you can enjoy, but we're going to go for Eileen Perez by decision. Typical women's fight, bantamweight fight. She's got good takedowns, and she likes to shake what her daddy gave her. We move on. Eileen Perez is going to get it done. Oh, God. Chris Moutinho has not been cut from the UFC yet. And he's fighting Christian Quiñones. And he's minus 650. This is what I'm talking about, man. Now, Moutinho, I believe all 7 of his losses has been by finish. He's either been submitted or knocked out. I cannot pick him for this. And I don't like Christian Quiñones. I think he sucks as well. But I'll just go Quiñones. Round 2 submission. Fuck it. We're going to go submission. Does he have submissions under his belt? No, he doesn't. We're going to go knockout then. We move on. It's rapid fire. I don't want this video to be too long. You know, this card doesn't deserve my undivided attention. I save my attention for the big cards, the cards that matter. Next week, we'll have a big prediction video. Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. An old man at featherweight versus a Colombian who just got a great win on the Contender Series. Who has the momentum in this fight? Right? Javier Reyes does. In round 2, knockout. This guy, I forgot he doesn't fight that often. You lose to Miles Johns. Ugh. Said Nurmagomedov, his past 5 fights took place in the span of 4.5 years. Whereas this guy's a little more active. Colombia, we don't really see a lot of Colombians, which is quite strange. Chris McCat by decision. This guy's got submission, so he's decent, but he's got knockouts. We're just going to go by knockout. Yeah. Ernesta Karakate versus Regina Turin. Turin is taking this fight on short notice, but I'm going to pick her regardless. And I'm going to go by knockout in round 1. Whoa, you're picking a woman to finish another woman in an MMA fight? This girl, she's got knockouts. All finishes in her last 5 fights. I know she's new, but so is Karakate. She doesn't have many fights. Lithuania, we see these Lithuanian women. They're not all that. Like Jasuda Vicious, she's not all that. I'm sorry. What was the other one? There's another Lithuanian girl. We're going to go with Regina Turin. Also, I took a peep at her Instagram. She's got a cake. She's got a fatty cake. I'm going by knockout. Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Now, this is a shitter. Wow. A shitter fight. Venezuelan fighter. Injures his leg 2 years ago. He's 38 years old at featherweight. Up against 26-year-old white boy. Francis Marshall goes to split decision. He's had close fights. Loses to Isaac Dolgarian. That's not good. You lose to the fucking fraud. We're just going to go with Francis Marshall. He's minus 500 for a reason. KO, round 1. Fuck it. Now, this one. The first fight of the card. You got to hear me out. Wes Schultz versus Damian Pinas. His name is not Penis. His name is not Penis. His name is Pinas. Big, risky underdog pick. I am going with Wes Schultz by submission in round 1. This guy, Wes Schultz, had a very close fight with Mansour Abdul Malik. He was close to finishing him off. I think he could have finished him off if he was a little smarter. Since then, in the Contender Series, this guy got a fucking Suloev stretch. And he has a lot of submissions and even knockouts, ground and pound knockouts. I think he's going to take Damian Pinas down. His name is funny to say. He's from Aruba. Can't remember if we've ever had a UFC fighter from Aruba. Weird country, small island country. Cool. All of his fights are by finish. So you're seeing like all these knockouts and everybody's picking him. Look at this. 88%. He's minus 250 favorite. The reason why I'm going with Wes Schultz is because this guy, Pinas, all of his fights in the regional scene are these like crappy Caribbean MMA promotions. He's had some in Brazil. But, Aruba FC, I think that was one of them. Like, I'm not counting those types of fights. Like, what is this? Professional, but I don't know some of these promotions. VXFC, I've never heard of this place. Whereas Wes Schultz faced off more tougher competition in LFA. LFA is legit. Like I said, Mansour Abdul Malik, legit prospect at middleweight. I don't think he's going to be champion, but, he keeps winning. He keeps making fast work of these guys. And that was a close war. It was a great fight. Go rewatch it. And, Suloev stretch, this guy's BJJ. I'm thinking his jiu-jitsu, he's going to take down Pinas, and I'm just thinking Pinas is going to look like he's not going to know what to do on the ground. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Wes Schultz, he's going to get it done. He's going to tap out Pinas with a rear naked choke. Those are our picks. Shitty card. Moreno, veteran. He's going to destroy Loner Kavanagh. Martinez, based on Cheeto Vera, not throwing shit, not wanting to fight. Zell Huber, he's going to get it done. Chairez, Rodriguez, Luna, Gandra. The Indian Gandra, Perez, Quinones, Reyes, Taryn, Marshall, Schultz. Final picks. I truly do believe we are going to get every single one of these picks right. 100% right edition. Schultz is the risky one. Everyone sees Damian Pinas as this powerful black guy. He's got a great physique. He's got great power. He looks like, oh, he's unstoppable. He's got the melanin points. He's going to come in. He's going to knock out Wes Schultz. I don't see it. I don't see that happening. Wes Schultz for the win. Big risky underdog pick of the entire card. That's that. I hope this video wasn't too long, but I will be streaming probably I'll probably start with Chairez versus Boons. I'm not going to be streaming the whole card. There's no way I can hype myself up for 6 hours watching fucking Ernesta Caracate throwing leg kicks or Douglas Silva to Andrade. I'm not. I don't want to watch Chris Moutinho fight on stream. I have to do piss breaks. I have to do shit breaks. I only stream the entire card when it's a big, juicy card. I did that with Aspinall versus Gon. I did that with JDM and Makhachev. We'll see about next week with the BMF belt. We'll see what happens in that one. That card's not the best either. To be completely honest, UFC 326 isn't the best card, but that's all I got for this video. Picks and predictions, 100% right edition. Like and subscribe to my channel, motherfuckers. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.